Hi everyone, my name's Emily Moyes and I'm from Darwin, Australia. I am an ecologist there and I work for Professor Graham Webb at Wildlife Management International.
Emily, thank you very much for sharing these minutes with us. I would like to hear from you how you started to study ecology and how you finally ends working in Wildlife Management International and plus running a Crocodylus park in the Northern Territory.
Yep. So I grew up with quite an exposure to the nature and environmental issues. My parents worked in the industry, so I was always exposed to it and became a passion of mine growing up. And so it was quite a clear path for me to take after school going to university. I actually did start out in zoology and kind of merged over to the ecology side. It did interest me a little bit more in like a broader perspective, I guess. And through university, I was given amazing opportunities. I got to travel the world. I got a lot of experience, a lot of fieldwork done. And through that is kind of where I could open up to different parts of the industry, which I really had no idea, really as a naive student, there was all this other side to everything. You have a bit of a picture of, I guess, the environment and conservation. I think it's actually quite different from what reality is. Yeah. And that's great exposure that I've been getting recently. And so through that industry experience is kind of how I got into Crocodylus Park and running the zoo and the crocodile side there. And so that in itself has given me a lot of experience. I manage everything there from A to Z, so every day is so different. And again, it's a lot of exposure to the industry.
You're working with the Wildlife Management International. Of course, you are working in many sustainable use programs and you are very much involved on this.
Yep.
But working also in the Crocodylus Park, you are, I think, working on the touristic part of the adding value to the nature.
Yes.
How is that challenge?
Look, it can be very challenging, especially because we are a science-based company and, we have such huge knowledge of sustainable use and those practices. And, unfortunately, not everyone has an open eye to this. And so educating the public, and that's just Joe and Mary walking down the street who have no idea other than what they see out in their backyard, trying to educate people on that and understand that perspective of conservation can be quite tricky. But, we do our best, we educate them, we explain, we demonstrate as much as we can. And I think we educate more people than we don't. Not everyone's going to agree and that's okay. That is what makes the world a beautiful place. Everyone's so different. But, we try our best in showing, the science over the years and the data and how it progresses and this is what this means. And, we try our best that we can.
Okay, how you work, all the team, on the information that a place like a Crocodylus Park do provide to the people? Because we are very used to see that in many parks or zoos or some different institutions, the information showed to the people is completely wrong or biased. So how is the work pre-putting the information to the people?
Well, we are lucky because we have, Professor Graham Webb and people like Charlie Manolis who have an extreme amount of knowledge. And really, we're like the little children that are getting the knowledge from them, the godfathers of the crocodile world and sustainable use. So they're passing that down and we have, a fantastic and very educational museum. But again, you've got to think of different ways to get that information across to people because not everyone's going to go walk around, read a sign, go through the museum. We try and do it in an interactive way. So when we do our tours and we're showing people crocodiles and feeding and all that type of stuff, you've got their attention. You've got them captivated in this animal, and they're very fixated on that because they're amazed.
But this is a bite. This is a bite. So you are catching the people with this, and then you provide the rest.
Correct. So while we've got them captivated, then we can pass this information across. And that, I think that is really key. because they're listening, they're captivated, and they can see these animals up close, and they're just, so amazed. So I think that is a really key and very important thing, because, not everyone's interested at the end of the day.
You still have there the boat ride?
We do.
Yeah, how is working that? It's very interesting, I remember.
It is very interesting, and it's great. Every tour is very different. It's very popular because, again, people don't see these animals up close, so they see these giant crocodiles displaying their natural behaviors.
Explain giant.
5 meters.
Yeah.
5 meters and big, they are just massive. Their heads are the size of our body, it feels like. They just are huge animals. And so when people see them display their natural behaviors using that tail to jump out of the water and get their prey, people scream. They're just truly amazed. That it's great. It's an amazing experience for people, and it's unforgettable. We get a lot of comments on it, and that's what it's all about. Is creating that awareness and creating that experience, and hopefully through that, then we can educate people.
Yeah, mostly explaining to the people, the urban people,
yes,
why it's so hard to explain to the locals that they have to protect these animals with no benefit at all.
Yep, absolutely. And as well, croc-wise is a massive thing in the territory. So we call it being croc-wise. So making sure that you practice safety protocols around water to be able to live in harmony with the animal.
Yeah. In perspective, after the pandemic, how is going now the issue with the tourism in the top end?
Look, it's not too bad. It's actually it's not amazing, but after COVID, it's just fantastic to have so many people back. A lot of people are still staying in their countries, I think, rather than going overseas quite yet. But we've been busy since we have opened back up. We are a seasonal business because we have a wet season and dry season, but it's been consistent, and our locals have been amazing in supporting us.
Are you planning some PhD or something for yourself, or you want to keep on the administration of the place?
Look, I'm not 100% sure, and that was also being at COP here is kind of being exposed to more of different industry sides, and it's something that I think now that I do definitely want to pursue.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.